Local shares did well on Friday to end flat, and over the course of the week the ASX 200 was essentially the same. Again, not a bad outcome considering that we saw a solid improvement over the course of the previous week. So a bit of a consolidation week, you could reasonably say. As far as today's picture was concerned, it really was turning around the banks in many respects once again, because the focus is on out-of-cycle rate increases, and the latest institution to do that is actually one of the regional banks. Bendigo and Adelaide banks said it would be raising its interest rates for owner-occupiers and investors. So that stock was down by the most part of 1%, and banks in general today were down by around a third to a half of 1%. A good outcome under the circumstances to end just in positive territory on the back of that. Another piece of news today was from Rio Tinto. They have signed a non-binding agreement to sell their stake in the Grasberg copper mine in Indonesia, and the proceeds from that will total around $3.5 billion US. So that was officially confirmed. There were suggestions that that might be the case in earlier days, but those proceeds are expected to come back to investors in the form of either a share buyback or something along those lines. Village Roadshow worth talking about as well, having returned from its trading halt in recent days, having undertaken a capital raising. The stock was down by 10% yesterday. It was down by a further 5% today. And Viva Energy had a difficult start to its first day of trade on the ASX. Its listing price was $2.50 and it finished down by around 4%. So this is the largest IPO for the ASX in around 4 years. Viva Energy owns the retail part of the Shell business. As far as the service stations are concerned, they also have, amongst other things, a refinery in Geelong. As far as the weekly performance is concerned, looking at the best improvers in the ASX 200, the leading group there was Pilbara Minerals, up by 15%. Afterpay Touch was up by 10%, and WiseTech Global was ahead by around 8.5%. On the negative side of things, Pendal was down by 12%. The fund manager, Resolute Gold, was down by around 7%, and Spark Infrastructure was down by 7%. The Aussie dollar got a boost today off the back of some encouraging trade numbers, which showed that in annualised terms, China's imports of Australian goods was up by 12% in the last month to $9 billion. So in the last 10 months, or in the last 12 months rather, we've seen 10 trade surpluses with China, and the Aussie dollar got a lift. It's trading back at around 74.1 US cents.